Hey, 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 how are you?
I am doing great. How are you this evening?
I'm doing so well. Thank you so much for joining me on the Teacup Vendor Spotlight. I am excited to talk about all the things travel. Everyone who may be watching, I am Shanette Prevo. I am the owner and event director for Teacup Planning and Events. This is what I call Vendor Spotlight, where I talk with another industry professional on how they help and what they do in the industry and how they can help you, as well as things that you should keep in mind when you're ready to book different industry vendors. Tonight's vendor is Tru Williams, and she is coming to us to talk about traveling and traveling with your team, your event crew, your bridal party, whatever it is that you may be doing. She actually assists with helping groups travel. Tru, I'll give it to you if you want to introduce yourself.
And again, thanks for having me, Shanette. My
You're
name
very
is
welcome.
Tru Williams. I am the owner of Travel with Tru. We are a small home business. I am licensed and accredited. I have certifications. I have been booking travel for people since about 2014. I've been in the game for quite a while now. I started my own travel agency in 2016,
Right.
specialize in book all type of travel, whether it's solo trips, couples. So no trip is too small or too large.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
great. You mentioned that you're licensed and so you carry certifications. What certifications do you carry?
A member of ASTA, which is American Society of Travel Advisors. I also have IATA, which is International Air and Transportation Association.
Okay.
I'm also accredited with CLIA, which is Cruise Line International Association, where I am
Nice.
an accredited cruise counselor. So I have cruise certifications. I
Okay.
also have vendor and destination certifications, such as a group specialist, destination wedding specialist. I am a Jamaica and Aruba specialist. So
Nice.
assortment of certifications, but the main three are CLIA, IATA, and ASTA.
That's really awesome. You can help with domestic as well as international travel. People looking for destination weddings and things of that nature, or to have their group or their families come. Is that when they would contact you?
I help book your flights, your hotel stay, whether it's international, domestic, wherever you're traveling in the world, I can definitely help you get to where you are. I'm still trying to put together something where I can book with Airbnbs and vacation
Okay.
home rentals.
Okay.
Right now, the Airbnbs are iffy, but there are some suppliers that I use that have home rentals,
Oh, nice. You don't have to stay
as
on a
opposed
resort
to
or in a hotel.
exactly.
And some people prefer that and that's really good.
And
I
especially when there are families that have children that are traveling and everyone wants to stay under the same roof. So that'll be a good option as opposed to resorts.
Oh, you bring up a very good point. You don't just help adults, you help families travel as well. They
Exactly.
have
Yes.
children traveling. That's so awesome. The thing that I've always wondered is what makes the difference between me and a travel agent, right?
Travel agents, we have relationship with suppliers, hotels, airline industry. So it's easier for us to pick up a phone and call someone at that particular hotel or resort that you're staying at, as opposed to you booking it yourself. You probably have to call an 800 number, go through the reservations department. We cut out all that because if you get someone and you get disconnected, then you're back in the queue waiting to
Okay.
speak to someone. Whereas a travel agent, we can get right to the meat of what we need to do to get you booked and reserved. Personalize your travel. It's not just about booking the trip, getting your flight and your hotel book. We
Mhm.
want to make sure you understand travel restrictions, what's allowed in certain countries and what's not allowed. We'll
Okay.
go over with COVID, we'll go over COVID protocols. There are still some countries that require you to take a COVID test. And there are
Mhm.
some countries, for example, Turks and Caicos, in order to go there, you have to be vaccinated. With the travel agent, we go above just booking flight and booking hotel. We make sure that you know what to expect when you travel.
That's so good. People do get some in the airport or something and realize they didn't have a requirement or criteria met, and then they are in a bad position for their flight.
And right. And with a lot of people with passports, a lot of people don't know that some countries will not allow you to travel if your passport expires within 6 months of your return date. Get there and it's like the United States not letting you come back because your passport expires within the 6 month time period. So it's good to keep a check on when your passport expires and how far in advance to go ahead and get those renewed.
That is great points. I know that it snuck up on me this year, but my son, he turned 18 and I didn't realize that his passport expired at 18. My passport is valid for 10 years, right?
Right.
And actually, I don't know if I have to do it or if he has to do it because he's 18 now.
Because he's 18, yes.
That just hurt my heart. So how do you work with your clients? Like, how do you work for them? Do you travel with them? What do you do?
I know, like, for if a group of 10 or more that have never traveled internationally, I try to make it a point to travel with them because they're going to have questions. They're going to have, what to do, where to go. When I get to the hotel, then what? So I try to travel with them, especially if it's a group 10 or more, because they may not have a set itinerary. As far as like groups, especially if it's a wedding, birthday, anniversary trip, vow renewal, any large group where I feel that there's 10 or more people, I definitely try to travel with them.
That's really good. So you can be there to make sure that
Exactly. I'll be there
have everything.
Contact. And I try to arrive before the first guest arrive, either the day before or earlier in the day. So that way I can go ahead and speak with resort, make sure that everything is lined up and ready for them when they arrive, so they don't have to wait around to get their room keys and different stuff like that.
That's a lot of benefit in having that knowledge with you on your trip, right?
And travel, I try to make sure I have everyone's travel documents with me. So that way I can make sure everyone's room is up to par prior to their arrival.
That's really good. That's so good. You mentioned weddings and anniversaries, which is why we're on the call together. And to understand how that handoff works when working with a wedding planner versus that travel, right? Because international or destination weddings, typically there is a venue coordinator at the destination venue.
Yes.
And so then, but you still may have your wedding planner or wedding coordinator from your home state or home place. And then we have you, right? So I would call you up and I would say, Tru, I have two lovebirds that are ready to go and get married in Jamaica, for example. So how would we work together in that instance? And the venue coordinator?
They would, contact me for flights and hotel information. They'll book their flights, they'll book their resort. We're good to go. I will be put in contact with the groups department there, as well as a wedding coordinator there. Once I have that contact information, I'll let them know, hey, I have a planner that's also coming. She'll be assisting with Tony and Renee's wedding.
Right.
We get there, we meet the first day we arrive, we meet with the planner there. And you let them know exactly what you need. If you're bringing equipment, if you're bringing chafing dishes, whatever you're bringing to make this their special day and stuff from home, they'll be able to tell you, okay, you can bring this will help you set up and everything. So I will be the go-to between you and the resort. I'll put you in contact with the wedding department as well as the groups department to make sure that you have everything you need and that there aren't anything additional that if there's anything additional that they may be able to assist you with to help.
Right.
make their special day even more special.
That's great. And that's a great point because there has to be lines, it needs to be clear whose role is what and
Exactly.
how they fit together, right?
Exactly.
And I want to be able to focus on my two lovebirds and what they need to bring with them in terms of the wedding. I need to be able to focus on what certifications they need or that kind of thing to make
Exactly.
sure that everything goes without a hitch in destination.
Exactly. And also in
And
destination, it's also good if they want to have the wedding outside, you have to, account for rain. Okay, well, what's the backup? How
right. So I
soon?
still
And
that I would, right. And
exactly.
make sure that the venue holds up to their end of the contract.
Exactly.
So that's absolutely right. Yep, that makes life so much easier for everybody. And then I don't have
Mhm.
to focus on Aunt Mary getting her flight out. I would call you up and say, Aunt Mary needs help with her flight, and you would work
Exactly.
with Aunt Mary so I can
Mhm.
focus on the other things. That definitely makes things so much easier
Yes.
and
And
cohesive.
it's a smooth transition.
Mhm.
Everyone, it's a smooth transition, and we're all working together to make the lovebirds happy, make it
Yeah,
a
there
special
we
day for
go.
them. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so, how far in advance should a couple or anybody traveling book their travel? How far in advance
Um,
should they reach out to you?
as far as 330 days prior to the return date. As far as like
Mhm.
flights aren't more than 300 days in advance. So
Okay.
you can't, like right now, you can't book any flights for January 2024
Okay.
because they aren't available. So you would have to wait until at least February or March of 2023 to start planning for 2024.
I see. If you work with a travel agent, you can maybe break up your payments or something like that. Is that something that is possibility or?
Is a possibility, and that is something that I definitely allow. I want my clients to be able to not stress about paying for a trip. You have to have the balance paid in full anywhere from 75 to 45 days prior to travel. So
Okay.
the earlier that you start your planning, the more time you have to pay your trip.
That's good. That's awesome. And so how do people get in contact with you? How do they find Travel with True? Mhm.
On Instagram at Trumonda, Trumondia. Facebook as Travel with Tru. My number is 678-404-1507. My email address is twilliams@travelwithtru.com. So using a travel agent adds that special touch. It adds
Yeah.
that comfort in knowing that I know that my trip is booked. I know it's secured. And if I have a problem, I can reach out to my agent. And
Yeah.
I'm always the first to find out, like if there's a problem, if your flight's delayed, I'm reaching out to you and like, hey, just want to let you know your flight times have changed. Instead of leaving at 10:15, you'll be leaving at 10:45.
Right. So that's awesome.
And yeah, so because a
They
lot of
don't have
people
to
are
wait
not
for that last
monitoring their
minute text
flights.
message. Right.
Yeah,
Right. That may or may not come through depending on if you're.
exactly. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is so awesome. True. It's been great talking
It's
with you
been
tonight.
great
I've
talking
learned
to
a
you.
lot. And I'm looking forward to destination weddings and
Yes.
being able to call you up and saying, hey, I have some people that want to go somewhere. Or even if it's, and that doesn't necessarily have to be a wedding. It may just be a birthday party or a celebration or
Yeah.
something. They may want to
Family
go somewhere.
reunion, anything. Yeah.
Yep, they want to go somewhere. So that's awesome. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Any last points you want to make before you go?
Nope. Just if you're looking to book travel or just get some travel advice, I am available. Tru Williams. That's T Williams at travelwithtru.com or travelwithtru@gmail.com. I'm on social media, Facebook, Travel with Tru LLC, and Instagram, Trumonda. That's Trumondia. Any questions about travel, feel free to contact me. I'm available.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I'm so glad we met in
Yes,
the Dominican Republic, right? On a
right.
trip. And
On a destination wedding.
you
Yes.
were the travel agent and you've been great ever since. So I'm so
Thank
glad to
you.
have you And thank you so much for spending some time with me tonight. And I will be in touch. Love you much. Thank you so much.
Love you. Thank you.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.